Brooks Lindsay, a 25-year-old soldier with the 114th Field Artillery Regiment, 2nd Battalion of the Mississippi National Guard, had always dreamed of serving his country. Growing up in Jackson, Mississippi, he was known for his emotional nature and unwavering dedication to his goals. In 2015, Brooks met Haley Wilson, the love of his life. From the moment they met, they knew they were meant to be together. Their love only grew stronger, and in November 2017, they married, promising to stand by each other through thick and thin. Shortly after their wedding, the couple received unexpected news. Haley was pregnant. The joy of expecting their first child was overwhelming, and they eagerly prepared for the arrival of their baby. They attended parenting classes, went for regular checkups, and even learned they were having a girl. They decided to name her Millie, a name that felt perfect for their little one. But as the due date approached, Brooks faced a heart-wrenching reality. His duty as a soldier called him away from home, and he had to return to his base at Fort Bliss near El Paso, Texas. Haley, though heartbroken, understood the importance of Brooks's commitment to the Army. She supported him, even as they both held on to a sliver of hope that he might be able to return for the birth of their daughter. The Red Cross, however, had strict policies. Soldiers were only granted leave for births if the mother or baby faced serious health complications. Since Haley and the baby were healthy, Brooks's chances of being present for the delivery seemed slim. Brooks and I had been practicing my call to the Red Cross because we heard it was really hard to get men home for births, Haley recalled. We were told the only way it would work is if I was in distress. For months, Haley attended her checkups alone, reassured by the doctors that both she and the baby were doing well. But as her due date neared, something felt off. During one routine appointment, the doctor discovered that Haley had developed preeclampsia, a condition characterized by dangerously high blood pressure that could affect both her and the baby. After returning from the hospital, I received a call from my doctor, Haley said. She told me my blood pressure was too high and the baby was being stressed. She instructed me to come to the hospital immediately to induce labor. Haley called Brooks, her voice trembling as she explained the situation. The news was both alarming and hopeful. With Haley's health at risk, there was a chance the Red Cross would grant Brooks leave to be with her. After verifying Haley's condition with the hospital, the Red Cross approved a 4-day leave for Brooks. Overjoyed, he booked the first flight home. Brooks's journey, however, was far from smooth. His flight from Fort Bliss to Dallas went as planned, but his connecting flight to Jackson was delayed. As hours passed, Brooks grew increasingly anxious. Haley's water had broken at 7 a.m., and by 2 p.m., when Brooks landed in Dallas, she was already in the hospital, 402 miles away. I was sure we would already have a baby by the time he arrived, Haley recalled. But at least he gets to come home for 4 days. I was taking whatever I could get. At the airport, Brooks faced an agonizing dilemma. His flight to Jackson was finally ready to board, but Haley was in the final stages of labor. Through a stroke of ingenuity, Brooks's mother, Teresa, had managed to FaceTime him from the hospital. Despite hospital rules prohibiting video recording or photography, Teresa discreetly positioned her phone to allow Brooks to witness the birth of his daughter. When the doctor noticed, Teresa explained the situation, and the doctor, moved by the family's plight, allowed the call to continue. Brooks's eyes were glued to the screen as he watched Haley push through each contraction. Brooks was telling me it was okay, that I was doing so good, Haley said. I heard him wincing and saying wow through my pushes. But just as Brooks was about to witness the most magical moment of his life, airport authorities approached him, urging him to board his flight. Torn between staying connected to his family and following orders, Brooks felt his heart shatter. The passengers around him, however, had noticed his distress. One by one, they began to delay the boarding process, buying Brooks precious minutes to stay on the call. Their small acts of kindness gave him hope. Just as a soldier is there for his countrymen, today the people were there for him. One passenger later recalled, finally, as the boarding gate was about to close, a scream erupted from the phone. "Don't let him board that flight!" Teresa shouted. Moments later, Brooks watched in awe as his daughter, Millie Fritz Lindsay, entered the world at exactly 5:23 p.m. Tears streamed down his face as he witnessed the miracle of life, his heart swelling with pride and love. The entire airport erupted in cheers, celebrating the birth of Millie as if she were their own. Brooks eventually boarded his flight, his heart full but heavy. He arrived in Jackson at 7:20 p.m., where Haley was waiting with their newborn daughter. She had asked everyone in the room to leave, wanting the moment to be just for Brooks and Millie. "I held my daughter for the first time and hugged and kissed my wife," Brooks said later. "It was emotional, especially not being there for the actual birth. But getting to see her and hold her for the very first time was indescribable." The 4 days Brooks spent with his family were precious, filled with laughter, tears, and the joy of new parenthood. But duty called once again, and Brooks had to return to his base. As he bid farewell to Haley and Millie, he reflected on the whirlwind of emotions he had experienced. "My only intention was to get home to see my daughter being born," he told the Washington Post. But it turned into something much more than we anticipated. The story of Brooks and Haley Lindsay is a testament to the sacrifices made by military families and the power of community support. It reminds us of the strength of love and the lengths people will go to for those they care about. As one passenger, Tracy Dover, who recorded the events, later said, "I wanted to share this because I never want us to forget about our soldiers who serve us every day and the sacrifices they make.